In real estate, there's a lot of different ways that real estate agents, loan officers, title, escrow people, inspectors, contractors, there's a lot of different ways for all these different types of people to be very unethical. Reason being is because people don't really do, the average person doesn't do a real estate transaction for, on average, like every 7 to 10 years. So because of that, people can sometimes try and take advantage of unknowledgeable buyers and sellers. And I would say the number one most unethical thing that happens in our industry, the real estate industry, for residential at least, is when real estate agents do what's called buying the listing. So when a seller goes to potentially put up their house for sale, normally what they do, the normal process is to interview, say, 2 to 3 different real estate agents. Part of this interview process is they like to hear from the real estate agents, one, how do they market the property, and then two, what their pricing suggestion would be. So what can be very common is for a competent realtor to come in, present comparable property sales, similar houses that have sold around the area recently, to generate an estimate of what they believe that this particular house could sell for. Then the next two, or the second or third agent can come in and do what's called buying the listing, where they say, that agent told you 715? That's crazy. I could sell it for 765. And this sounds really nice to the seller. Like, this sounds amazing because obviously sellers want to make the most amount of money. But a lot of times these people can't really justify that listing price. What they really leaned heavily on is their incredible marketing. We use video, we use incredible photography, we use staging, all this stuff. I can sell it for $765, no problem. And it's like, that's great. Great marketing can go a really long way. But at the same time, if an agent is that far off from like what comparable property sales are saying, I would be highly suspicious. And what a lot of times happens, the reason why this is so unethical is because a lot of those agents know that the house isn't going to sell for $765. What's going to happen is it's going to sit on the market for 30 to 60 to 90 days. All of a sudden the seller's pissed off. Finally they're like, you know what, let's drop the price. It's not selling at this price. So they go down to 750 and 735 and 725. Still not selling. Now it's been on the market for about 4 months. And then they end up selling at like 700 or 690, below what fair market value could have been. But the reason why it ends up selling for below fair market value is because by the time they got to that reasonable number, they had that days on market that makes buyers think that there's something wrong with the house. So if you get down to let's just say hypothetically 715 is the reasonable number, but then you also add 100 days on market, buyers think that there's something wrong with the house. They don't want to buy the house at asking. They're like, no other buyers are buying this place. It's been on the market for forever. So then they offer, 685, and then you counter and you go under contract at 690. So I've just seen sellers really shoot themselves in the foot by being a little greedy, and it's easy to do. It's easy to do when you just want the most amount of money, and it's easy to listen to some smooth talking real estate agents, but be loyal and obedient to the data. You got to look at the data, comparable property sales, be totally hypercritical about your listing, nitpick your listing to death, figure out what's wrong with your house, try and fix it, resolve it before you go on the market, because the more that you take off of a buyer's plate, the more that they'll pay for your house. So this is one thing to do when you're interviewing real estate agents about listing your house for sale. Look at the comparable property sales and see who's honest. If they say 715, ask them, can you show me comps at that price point? If they say 765, say, show me the comps at that price point. And if they really emphasize, all the comps are coming in 50 grand below, but my marketing is just so amazing. It's like, you got to be a little suspicious of those people. So watch out for these agents. I got your back. If you ever reach out to me, I'll tell you the truth. I'm a straight shooter. I try and be nice about it, because sometimes people can get their feelings hurt. And I understand it's an emotional thing. So, but I try and shoot people straight because I think I think you're actually going to make the most amount of money if you price your home correctly. Overpricing your home, there's a lot of danger in that because of the days on market thing. So we want to avoid days on market. We want to price it correctly. We want to meet the market where it's at. Obviously, we want your house to look beautiful. We use all the marketing, the best marketing on the market. I want elite marketing. I want every listing that I have to be like a work of art. So I pay top dollar for the best photographers and videographers in town. I also pay for staging in certain situations, if it makes sense, professional cleaning, all that good stuff. So hit me up. Let me know if I can help in any other way. See ya.